Wow. So Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have 4-hour meeting at 60 million marital home. They have hired a realtor to sell amid claims divorce is imminent. This is in the Daily Mail. So make of it what you will, as Murad would say. And wow. So it sounds like this divorce between Jennifer and Ben is true. Oh my goodness. Um, Ben apparently went to the house to see her. And according to this article, they had a 4-hour meeting. How lovely. I wonder what they were doing for 4 hours. And yesterday I heard a report that Jennifer says one of, I think it was Tisa who said that Jennifer claimed, or a source claims that Jennifer said Ben has become very lazy in the boudoir, and of course for Jennifer, this is a non-starter because she is self-professed to be someone who really prioritizes her life in the boudoir, with her mate. And apparently Ben, but she doesn't understand this man is in his 50s, as men age, I don't think that, they get, well, I don't know, but it seems to me that um anything over 50, I mean, is always going to be a risk, Jennifer. It's not the same as when you're 22 because, they start talking about their prostate, they start talking about, you know, all kind Viagra. Is that still a thing? I don't hear anybody talking about Viagra anymore. I remember years and years ago when everybody would talk about Viagra and who's taking Viagra and who's not taking Viagra. Is that still a thing? Am I dating myself? I have no idea. But over 50, it's all kinds of complications occur. Everybody knows this. So I don't know if she really expected to go back into a relationship with this guy that she knew when she was 28. He's now in his 50s. He has admitted to having some substance abuse issues, such as alcohol, which everybody knows is going to have an impact on his health overall, but certainly his boudoir performances, I would think, right? And so you rush into a marriage with him, you dump Alex, you rush into a marriage with this guy. Look, the last photographs I saw of Ben Affleck in in Los Angeles, in California, wherever he was, whether it was Los Angeles or elsewhere, um, did not look like a man who was fully together in the sense that, for a man of his stature, and wealth and so on and so forth, he just looked very, very disheveled, very, very disheveled. Like he could not be bothered to take care of his appearance, of his clothing, of how they looked. He was not pulled together. And it made me wonder whether he had again started to abuse substances like alcohol. He looked like somebody who could be, you know, having a bender. He looked, is that the term, you're on a bender or having a bender, whatever the term is. And I just think that, Jennifer walked right into this because um she the way she just rushed into this this reconnect with Ben, and she dumped Alex, and Alex probably was a cad. I mean, he probably was. Chances are, I mean, I read reports of him being less than faithful. These are alleged. I don't know if it's true or not, but I read those reports. And of course, if that's true, it's not like I'm going to sit here and blame Jennifer for dumping Alex. But, you know, I mean, look, Alex to me just seemed like a better fit for Jennifer. You know, his children and Jennifer's children seem to get along very well together. And Alex was really kind of proud to be with Jennifer. You could tell. You know, as I said, she had um, certain control in that relationship. I think, you know, she can tell him what to wear, what to do, where we're going, what she wants, and he will comply or at least try to meet her needs. Ben is not does not strike me as the type of man who's going to try to meet Jennifer's needs. He wants Jennifer to meet his needs. And I think at 28, Jennifer would be more inclined to want to meet Ben's needs because, you know, he's just the type of guy in the society where, you know, hooking up with somebody like Jennifer Lopez automatically gives him, you know, he's seen as being above her, honestly, you know, and she is seen as not good enough for him based on the fact that people see her, you know, that what did Tisa say, a Latino, did she say a Latino hoe or something like that? I mean, I don't know, but people had a very sort of negative opinion of Jennifer Lopez when she was with Ben. When she was with Puffy, it was like, what is she doing with him? You know, because now he's not good enough for her. So she could never get it right. And then she went and she married Anthony. What was her husband's name? She married her husband, whatever his name was, um, and he kind of was perfect. Nobody said anything because, you know, he was Latina. He was Latino. She's Latina. They're both in the music industry. They both speak the same language. They have certain cultural things in common. So it's almost like people thought he was the perfect match. Um, and then that didn't work out. Which okay, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. She then hooked up with another Latina guy and Latino guy, and you know he was an adolescent and whatever. And so she tried a while to find the right person, and she found Alex. I thought Alex was perfect, but again, if Alex was cheating, this is obviously a deal breaker. You know, in some cases, I mean, what are you gonna do with a cheater in your 50s? Like, I mean, you know, if you're 28 and he's 28 and he doesn't yet understand that, you know, this is not acceptable behavior no matter what his hormones are saying, you almost you can be excused at least for giving him a second chance. But in your 50s, I think it's different. You know, I think that by that age, you expect certain things from your partner. Fidelity is just, you know, a basic, honestly. I mean, you don't expect to be having this kind of nonsense in your life of your husband, your boyfriend cheating. Like, what in the name of God is that? What do you need that for? Because at 54, you know that you can live without them. You know you can live without them. You may want them in your life, but you don't need them in your life at 54. Hopefully. I mean, if at 54 you don't know that you can be independent and you can be on your own and you don't need a man to be happy, then may God help you, right? So you're going to put up with a lot less in your 50s from men, especially that kind of behavior of cheating and violating the relationship like that. So if Alex was doing that, okay, I forgive her. But if that's not true, but there were other issues in the relationship, then I think she should have tried to work out that relationship with Alex. And I think this quick, you know, flip over to Ben was a big mistake. Ben never loved Jennifer, not really. He probably was in lust with her, right? They probably had a really nice time together in the boudoir in their 20s, yes. Um, but he didn't love her, and it was clear as day. And he doesn't love her now, and that's clear as day too. I mean, the energy is wrong. I mean, even if you want to be private in your relationship, there's something you're going to give off, a certain vibe that people can pick up that you're happy in your relationship. Jennifer and Ben don't have that vibe. They just don't, right? They don't have to say a word, right? It's just not there. The vibe is not there. There's no love there. He doesn't love her. So now it seems like then she goes and she buys a $60 million house, which, I mean, look at this monstrosity. You're gonna buy a $60 million house. Let it have some shape, for God's sake. Let it have some character, some detail. This is like, a Cubics, um, what do you call it? That Cubics thing that the children play with. It's like a Rubik's Cube of painted white with a whole bunch of cars parked out in front. It has nothing going for it that even remotely reflects regality. Okay, she's not a royal, I understand that, but you don't have to be a royal to think like a royal, you know? You don't have to be a royal to have taste. I mean, what the hell is this? This is like architecturally a non-starter, honestly. And that's my opinion, you know. I don't care how much you paid for it. I wouldn't pay 1 million for this, right? It is a box. It's like a Rubik's Cube, a white Rubik's Cube of just like concrete stocked on top of concrete. You paid $60 million for this just because it has 12 bedrooms. So, you can read and print, oh, you have a 12-bedroom house. Who the hell cares? You have a marriage, right? You have a husband, you have a relationship. You're both in your 50s. What about some intimacy? What about some, coziness, a little beach house, 2, 3 bedrooms, four tops, facing the ocean, beautiful deck, a little garden. You could make your sexy little dinners for your husband and read a book and, I don't know. I don't know, man. This this is screaming Justin Bieber at 21, honestly. And I don't know what she was thinking about. I don't even think Justin Bieber would want this at this point, or maybe even a rapper. This is screaming a rapper, a single rapper bringing girls over to the house. Look at this. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Who the hell needs to live like this to prove what? To prove what? It's like a parking lot. It's like a parking lot of confusion. It's a parking lot of confusion, Jennifer. But I guess that's what happens when you're rich. Um, but I can tell you this much. I mean, I would expect that they would get a little bit more than 60 million for it. And after 1 year, I mean, even if they made 2 million on the deal, it's not a bad deal, you know? It's not a bad deal. I also thought that I mean, I should be careful with this, but I thought that her outfits with Ben were, you know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what to say about them, but it's kind of like after a certain point, you don't need to show all of that to be sexy, is what I think, right? Um, Especially because he's going from Jennifer Garner, who, I mean, I'm not a fan of Jennifer Garner, but you know, she wouldn't be wearing these kinds of outfits. And Jennifer Lopez is not trying to be Jennifer Garner, but the stark contrast, I think, could be very jarring after a while. I mean, you know, I guess that's what he wanted, I guess, for the moment, for 2 minutes. I don't know. I can't even like sympathize with Jennifer on this one because she walked right into this. I mean, this guy was always full of it, but he just knows that he snaps his finger and he can get her back. That's what it was, you know. So, with all of the success that she had achieved without him, as you know, he left and she didn't fall apart. She went on, she succeeded, she got all these great jobs, making all this money, had a beautiful house, which she sold to be with him. He knew that just snapping his finger, she would come running back. And I think that's the worst kind of an image a woman can have to a man, is that he can just snap his finger and she will come running. It's the worst. The absolute worst, right? Um Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to say beyond that. Is that they're selling their house and it looks like the divorce thing is true and she has only herself to blame.